I don't think we should say how wonderful we are. I think we'll leave other people to make that judgment. But I'll kick off just by saying, obviously we're a family band. I say obviously, not obviously, but we are. This is Sam, who is our eldest son. This is Paul, my partner, and I'm Tina. And we've been playing together, I'd say in gigs probably for about 4 years, would you say?
Yeah. Although you two started first.
We did, we started together, didn't we? Actually, rolling back in time, it actually was as a consequence of me suddenly deciding I wanted to write some songs. That was one Easter, we were up at visiting relatives, Paul's mother, and I wrote a song. And that kind of seemed to be the beginning of something that I hadn't done since I was very, very young, teenager. And as a consequence of that, I got on a bit of a roll, and I thought, it'd be really nice to go and do these at open mics. So I asked poor old Sam here, would you come and play guitar?
Because you used to do a lot of performing as a violinist.
Well, now you're going way back in time.
And you'd kind of given up that part of your life.
I'd had kids and started teaching, and
so this is like another. This is like another career. This is a career.
It was like a rebirth. That's what it was. It was a rebirth of something that had gone on before. And so I got it sort of got hold of me, and then wanted to perform again, was missing it. Sam, would you come and play guitar and open mics? Very reluctant at that time, but he did, dragged him along, just locally. And then from that it kind of developed. And as time went on, Paul came on board, became involved as a violinist, but also when we're creating the material that we play, we do have some instrumentals as well, and we all kind of pitch in and follow on with ideas, and the work develops. It may start off as my words or my tune, if it's an original, but it ends up very much as a group collaboration, and it's something that we kind of form together.
We get the basic structure of something, then it will develop.
Basically, we're all coming from being a sort of musicians, professional musicians. Paul plays in London Symphony Orchestra. I used to do freelance violin work. I never sung professionally, which is interesting, but did play as a violinist for many years. And Samuel is breaking in. He's breaking in even as we speak to the sort of, what would you call it, the rock pop? What would you say? I don't know. What would you say?
I'm trying to break in as a singer, I guess.
Yeah, which we never saw coming, so that's amazing.
I started off as a drummer, moved to guitar, just move on up.
But also you have all the producing, arranging, all of that going on, so it's just what we're very, very much in love with.
And you produce and our recordings?
Yes, I do, yes.
That's worth noting, Sam is in fact the recording engineer, the producer.
So we're entirely a homemade product.
He is the man of all trades, is Sam, the all-rounder. We're very happy to have him. It's saved us a lot of money.
Only that it's a very, very long process.
It is
and sometimes we
quick.
perform something and then we go on and we rearrange it, and so it's an ongoing process. Like
songs come back in different forms sometimes. Because we get, I don't know, maybe we're a bit over perfectionist about it, but we get dissatisfied and think maybe we can do this or maybe we should do that, and so the thing gets reworked. But or sometimes it can be influences, because if it's an original in this particular setup, they tend to be my thing, so I get very attached to them in the way that I hear them in my head. And then I bring them to the table to the lads, and they start throwing things at me. Sometimes I'm quite resistant because I already heard it in my head. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I like it this way. So sometimes I get my way, and then later on, they get their way because I realise their idea was a good one. It's quite hard to edit your own stuff.
Once it's out there, then people can interpret it.
But also, when you perform something, it changes.
Yeah.
You can, when you're doing it in the back room, you can play in the back room until the cows come home. But once you've gone out there, done it in front of an audience and had a reaction, that also changes. I'm sure it's the same if you're doing readings of poetry and stories.
Absolutely, yes. I have reading versions of stories, and
that's interesting.
Partly because often they're too long anyway. But just there's bits that you think the audience never get that bit, so I'll just take it out.
It needs perhaps
Change it,
sort of
take it
need
out.
explanation or sort of.
Yeah.
So it's like perhaps having a difference between a recorded version and a live version of music.
Yeah.
You just have to do that sometimes, particularly as we're recording at home in the back room. It's quite Heath Robinson, or it has been. Paul's, Sam's updated his equipment, but you can't always capture the atmosphere and the sound that you get with the equipment, and especially if you're in a good venue.
Yeah.
So you have to do a few little tricks and things to sort of make it sound as interesting or as exciting.
Yeah. And just if you sing something a lot,
Yeah.
no matter how lovely the arrangement is, you find yourself tweaking as you go.
You do.
You're like,
You
oh,
do.
here's another harmony I can just sneak in here.
And just the way you sing the melody, it changes. I've really noticed that listening to old recordings and then thinking about how I'm singing something now. It doesn't really bear much relation sometimes. When the rest of the world goes to sleep, Sam perks up. He can do tremendous amounts between sort of 11 at night and 3 in the morning. When the rest of us are just nodding
That's
off.
why I do most of my arranging.
I thought so.
Editing.
You've often wondered what's going on up there.
That's
That
that,
of
is it?
yours.
That
It's
is
quietly arranging away. Was it actually
video
a lot of
editing.
composers do compose at night
Yeah.
because of the quietness around. It's so peaceful. Even in an area like this in South London, unless someone's having a party or an argument, which is rare actually.
Or
these
a
days.
helicopter flying.
Or a helicopter. The police helicopters are having a good old time without you chasing a criminal. It's just so quiet, so settled. And the only other time of year when it's like that is Christmas.
Yeah.